Welcome back to another episode of Jedi Academy. So we're on our 10th episode now, so we're going strong, we're going great. And today we've got, again with us, we've got Warrior. Warrior, how you been, man?
Hey, pretty good. How are you doing?
Alright, it's like 3 o'clock here, middle of the day kind of thing, middle of the duty. It's like early morning where you are, it's like, what is it there?
It's 8 a.m. where I'm at, and I'm chipper having some coffee and cleaning some glass, and that's about it, yeah.
Cool, that sounds exciting.
Well, I'm at work, but I'm also available for this because I'm not open for 2 hours. So I'm doing two things at once: cleaning glass and talking to you.
Awesome. And again, we've got with us Remon. Remon, how's things going with you, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty well. Middle of the day.
Yeah, I'm just doing a few things, running a few errands, but I'm on the stream today, ready to answer any questions and talk a little bit about the new live show we had started yesterday. We're gonna be doing it every Friday as well. At 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yesterday was the first one, so it went off pretty good. Some technical difficulties, but I think we'll get them under wraps for next week.
Cool. So, which channel is it on?
It's actually on my channel right now.
Okay,
cool. So just look up Remon Azab, Remon Azab. Check it out. Again, it's every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it's most of the same people from our Lord Skunk live show. Just came with us over here, so we got a lot of the same group, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, when it comes to streaming, there's there's a lot of stuff to it. As I'm sure there's always these technical difficulties sometimes with the sound and different things like that. So we're just trying to get that all under control, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to next week, and we're gonna keep a similar format. We're gonna do like news and top tens, but we're just gonna have like a larger Q&A section, and try to bring people on to ask their questions too. So next week we're gonna start doing that. Actually bringing people like on the stream to ask their questions and try to answer them and stuff like that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Sounds awesome. Looking forward to it, man. Yeah. And we've got, again with us, we've got the other half, or the better half of the reality Skewed gamers, and that is Ranger.
That's right. I'm glad to see that I'm getting the appreciation and the wanted attention that I deserve, because Grande, all he does is steal government Wi-Fi and, just take days off. I like to take a day off, but I get my butt up early in the morning and drink coffee and not have breakfast to do this show for these good people out here, So I think it's time for me to kill Grande. I think he's got to go. I think this is the last straw. I'm going to use some kind of Matrix Kung Fu fighting on him. So stay tuned. I may record it. I may put a video out, top 5 ways to kill Grande. I have to think about that. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. I heard today he had his community service for that, stealing Wi-Fi.
I don't know what he's doing, but it's the worst day because we got this stream today, right? We're doing Jedi Academy, and then we're doing our stream. We're doing ours a little bit earlier today because tonight we're also doing the podcast for the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes podcast. So it's a busy day. You just can't take days off whenever you want. You drink some coffee, you get your butt in there, and you do the work.
Yeah.
Smithie, we'll talk after. We're gonna put a list together. We're gonna let people vote. I'm an ex-Army Ranger. I can do this. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. We got to make a list. Top five ways to kill Grande Patron.
I think it'll be popular.
I think number 1 could be the box. Do you know, in-game box.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking. We'll come up with a very evil plan.
Definitely. And also, again, we've got with us is Loki. Loki, what have you been up to, brother?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Nothing much. Just kind of relaxing a little bit. I had a day off last week, so I'm excited to be back. And actually, no, we didn't have a show last week, so I'm excited to be here. but just grinding away. I put out a an updated Phase 3 heroic tank video, so I'm just kind of motivated to get that team I'm working on to over 2 million damage. So other than that, just excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for always coming out, brother. And also, again, we've got with us Mike. Mike, what have you been up to?
Hey Smithie,
Hey, man.
I've been trying out the clone scavenger phase 2. That was a lot of fun. Working on my first order, just finishing them off, and just generally messing about this week.
Cool. So, have you zated all your first order?
No, I've just got Kylo to go. 13 Zetas, 13 Amigas. Mid next week should be done.
Awesome. Are you going to be putting up some B-blog videos?
Yes.
On the raid? Looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Definitely.
Looking forward to it. And again, we've got with us as Bella. What have you been up to, Bella, for these past couple of weeks?
Oh, don't ask. I've been doing mod farming for 3 weeks straight.
How's that going
and
for you?
That was homework, right?
Yeah.
I got that last time as homework, and I did it. I kind of spent 7,000 energy, like over 7,000, on mod farming. I found a few good ones, but otherwise, else did I do? I'm at 60 setters now. Still don't know who to setter.
You've got
So I collect
67.
them.
You say
That's
you
what
had
I did.
67? Wow.
67?
60.
60. Well,
Oh, Bella, we must talk.
I thought you were like down for the dark side. How come you haven't done Maul or Vader?
Yeah, but it's difficult, you know. There's so many good people and some fun heroes out there. And yeah. So I have to decide what my future team will be.
I heard
If I
K2SO is a really good one. With that extra 1% protection. I heard K2SO is like really, really good. Definitely worth looking into. Extra 1%. An extra 1% protection goes a long way in this game.
Yeah.
Smithy, shame on you.
I don't know. I don't know who actually thought of that Zeta. You know what? We got to put a Zeta on the guy, so let's give him 1% extra protection and regain. Yeah.
And give Chewie one just for S&Gs.
No. Chewie does well without setters. Believe me.
Okay, so as it works, viewers, thank you very much for coming in and joining us today. So how it works is you throw your questions at us and make sure that you have quite a bit of question base, you know, make it constructive, give us a chunk, you know, so we can answer back in a chunk. We're going to kind of like spread it around the question, so we won't be going between all 7 of us answering the one question because we'll be here all day. So if there is a person that you do want to face it towards or who out of the panel, then just put at on your question and then we'll go from there. If not, I'll decide who gets the question based on where I think the area is probably going to be best suited. So to start things off, I'm going to look through the questions because I haven't done that yet. And yeah,
Do you want me to check the questions since Grande screwed us?
yeah, we did screw us.
That's
Grande,
right. So,
through its community service.
yeah, you know, still in government Wi-Fi and, you know, having a life and having a family and buying milk, you know, I mean, yes.
Yeah, that excuse. I'm just going out to get some milk.
Like how much milk do you consume? Good Lord. They're keeping the dairy farmers in America going strong.
Right, so
Okay, let me just-
I've got the first
coffee.
question I can see here is from Chelsea Headhunter 88. Clone team with Zetas, Fives and Cody, your opinion. So we don't have McMull in here today, so I'm going to focus this. Let's do it between the two. Let's go with Remon and Warrior for this first question.
So the question is a clone team and first Zeta.
Yeah, so the question is, what is your opinion on a clone team with a Zeta, Fives and Cody? Quite
Well, I mean, I think they're great in a raid and P4. You know, we've seen record-breaking damage done with that team, and I think they have a really cool synergy, probably one of the better synergies in the game. I also think that they're kind of missing something to make them really arena viable. So, I mean, you got to look at like the benefit of the team, and that's their raid benefit, I think, right now. And I mean, they can help you in PvE content and Galactic War, things like that. But if you're looking for a team to do great damage in a raid, they're perfect. They're probably the best. But I mean, if you're looking for a great arena team and you're maybe you don't have the largest roster yet, I would consider going elsewhere first. To with your Zetas, because I think more importantly than raid rewards is crystals every day from your arenas. Arena payout. So I mean, I just again, it depends on where you're at in the game. If you have a solid arena team, then absolutely. I mean, that's a great way to go. But again, if you're like picking your first Zetas here, and those are going to be your first Zetas, I would think maybe you might reconsider to go with somebody that's going to be a little bit more viable in arena.
Definitely. What about you, Warrior? Anything that you wanted to input on that? Anything you've seen different with clones that you'd like to share?
No, really, I actually totally and completely agree with him. I think that essentially, if you're using them for raids, Galactic War, things like that, then they're great. They're great for PvE, one of the best, if not the best, for PvE. But if you're using them for arena, and that wasn't classified yet, in arena, they're just not, like Remon said, there's just kind of an it factor missing. Defensively, there's just not enough punch in the team. They're pretty solid, but they're still just missing a little bit of oomph in the arena. So I wouldn't be Zetaing them for that purpose. But if you're in the top 5 every day and you have no problems with that, and you're looking at trying to be more of a contributor for the team in the heroic AAT, then yes, absolutely, I think that would be the direction to go.
Awesome, well said for both of you on that. So I've got a question. This one I'm going to throw out at Bella and Ranger. So Lucas started a new account because he got bored of Rebels. Which team should he really farm that's going to make it fun for him?
Well, that's a subjective question.
Yeah.
I don't know, Lucas. What makes you happy? He started a new account. He wants who he should farm for.
But for it to be fun, So would you say Night Sisters are fun?
No, don't do that. No, come on.
I'm just throwing some ideas out to you. Grande says they're fun.
Well, he's not here, and we don't want to listen to him. You could go a different path. If you want to do something totally different, you can start farming off Rogue One characters, or you could start farming. You could do, clones. You could go crazy. Go do a whole bounty hunter team to start off with. There's a bunch of teams that you can start off with right away. If you don't want to do the traditional route of getting Rebels and then getting Jedi for the events and stuff like that. If it's just strictly just to put together a team, just so you can go in and have fun every day. But it also is, again, when I say subjective, what do you enjoy playing? Everybody's different. So if you don't like Rebels, go Empire. Do something totally opposite than what you normally would. Just look at the roster and go, I want to do something crazy. I'm going to go Cup Ugnaught.
But do you know the irony to Empire though is that to get Emperor Palpatine you need 5 rebels.
But if teams that you don't have to do that, you could definitely. I'd say the Rogue One characters would be cool. Maybe you want to, that would be a way to start. Of course, you're farming like crazy. You could do First Order. You could do Resistance. There's a lot of teams you could go for first if you already have an account and you just want to do an all account that's, different. There's lots of different ideas out there. You just got to pick the one that you think you'd have the most fun with, and then just go for it.
This is Warrior. I got an idea.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
No, it's not a bad idea. It's actually just came to me, and I think it would be fun for somebody who is starting out fresh. It would be really, really fun. I mean, everyone knows the very first team that you should really hyper-focus on, aside from Rebels, is your scoundrel team, because you're going to need the training bots and the credits. Those are the two biggest linchpins in the entire game. So you gotta get those. So you could, and they're easy to farm. Pretty much all of them are just cakewalk to farm, except for maybe, there's maybe a couple of them that are a little bit harder in shipments and stuff. But all in all, they're all free. So I would do a scoundrel team for a bunch of reasons. One, it's going to get you on point as fast and as early as you possibly could for credit heist and training droid. And then team, it's not good defensively. I think everyone knows that in Arena, but it's good offensively. It tears through teams, and I've seen videos of some really OP scoundrel teams. So do a scoundrel team, throw a few of the thermal detonator guys in there, or just make it straight scoundrels. And tear through the arena early on to get yourself up into the top 100. And by then, hopefully, you'll have built up another secondary team, which could be anything else you want. But that's what I would start with if I had a brand new account. Would be Scoundrels would be my number one priority.
See, I was thinking you're going to say Night Sisters just so you could troll because Grande's not here. I think he's had a corrupting influence on you. I was worried.
We don't know if Lucas is free to play or not. But he started just now, so what I would do, I would not go for the last meta, like this is, because you can't catch up there, and you can't really, maybe when he's that far he can farm them, but now you cannot farm them. So a good thing also, besides your idea, Warrior, with the boundaries, is still go for some rebels, because then you can get Palpatine, and I think he's still a very good character to have, and you should have him as fast as possible.
Definitely. No, sounds cool.
And I always have a look, but there you need players to give you some advice who are a bit more leveled up, what you need for raids and for ships, and so you're prepared, because some of the rebels like Binks and Wedge and Akbar you can use pretty well everywhere.
Definitely. Right, so we're going to move on to the next question. I got a little bit of problems here with these questions. They're disappearing. So they're getting to a certain point on this thing, and then I can't see them.
I told you I'd read the questions, fool.
That's cool. I don't want to do it. I've got a good question here, and I'm going to throw this out to every single one of you, so you can all have a say. If you don't want to answer it, just pass. So the question is, and this is from Ricardo, and I think this is quite a good question, but it's a very personal question. Have you spent any money on the game? And what things and how much in total? So you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but I'm going to start with Mike.
Thanks for that. I've taken it off of mute now. I might have spent some money on the game, yeah. For me, it was Chase. I started off with chromiums. I got myself a too deep a roster, if anything, and then it was focusing on like gear. The more tunes you have, the more gear you need, the more energy you need to get the gear and the mods and everything else. Yeah, it's an endless loop. Once you get into it, you end up. Personally,
Pack of Pringles. Once you pop, you cannot stop.
Yeah. For fear of being left behind, you get to a point where you're challenging everywhere.
This sort of investment. So you have to, if you put so much in, and you feel that with all these gear, you have to keep spending to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's obviously how you value it yourself, but I think it paid off. I was set for Sith without even realizing. I just, I was picking different factions to work on, and I chose Sith literally days before the packs came out and the meta switched. So that was, that's been really good.
Decent. Ranger, we know you all love buying packs. Just seeing you open all these packs. You're a whale at heart, aren't you?
No, not really. God. Now, I'm in a unique situation because I opened one pack during a stream, and forever has it controlled my destiny since then. And I stand before you a bitter and broken man. Um, I have bought, packs before that, of course. I think it was depending on the tunes that I was looking to get. But mainly I focus on gear and characters. And for me right now, I'm not using crystals, or I'm not buying any packs. I mainly spend my crystals on, like right now I'm focusing on bays, big time in the store. But typically I don't buy packs. Now I spend money, but it's reasonable. I think that's one of the things. If you can afford it and you've got money to blow, then by all means have fun, buy characters. If you want to be a whale, that's great. And we've seen about this in the past that, spending an outrageous amount of money in this game, if you don't have it, can lead to a lot of bad things. So I think one of the messages here is just be careful, right? It's a game. You can be free to play and play it. Have a budget. I have a lot of people I know, they're top players. They budget. They spend their money wisely. It don't go haywire if you can't afford it. I think that's a key message here about how much you spend. Yes, if you got extra money and you want to spend it, by all means do. But just be really careful, because we all know, I know a lot of people that went crazy with the spending, and it really backfired on them. It's a game. We all play to play it, but I always try to get that message out there. But for me personally, yeah, I spend money on the game. I'm nowhere near the level of certain people in the game, but mainly focus is gear. That's the one thing, and then characters like bays. Certain characters I don't mind forking over some money for, and of course with the stream, I can't remember where we're at right now. I think 735 crystals. We're going to play the game tonight, so I'm sure that'll be rising, and I'll be buying here pretty soon some more chromium packs. So that's my life. But I'm a little bit different situation than most, because first thing I do when we get on the stream is open packs. So the lesson is don't be Ranger.
So you heard that, guys. If you want to see Ranger open a pack, check out Reality Skewed Gamers.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? Dare you? Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass out.
And remember to hashtag it in the comments. Buy a pack. Ranger 4 packs.
Bastard! You bastard! Oh.
Okay, so we'll move on. Loki, did you want to be in on this? Loki, are you there?
Locum?
Okay, we'll move over to Warrior. Did you want to be on this? Is Warrior there?
Yep. Sure. So I play the game. I always play a game first before I decide whether I'm going to invest anything into it or not. So I start free to play. And if I really, really, really dig the game, and I did really dig this game, then I set a initial investment budget and then a monthly budget. And that's because I make 6 figures a year at my real job, and so I have the freedom to spend money in the game. Not everybody has that benefit, but I'm making a really good sum of money on the side on my real job, so my day job, so to speak. So I made an initial $200 drop on the first, the first week after I realized I liked the game, and that $200 got me into the top 5, because there's a lot of people that aren't going to drop $200 on any game. And so that got me into the top 5. That got me my initial bump. And that was strategic. I did it intentionally to get me in the top 5. Once you're in the top 5, the game keeps you there because of the amount of crystals, provided you're hyper-focused. Now, you get to a point in that, after your $200 investment or whatever, that you start to bottlenose on gear. And there's only 2 solutions for that, truly, if you want to stay in the top 10. And that is, 1, you have to be in a hyper-competitive guild where you're getting the absolute best rewards. because doing a tier 5 raid isn't going to do it for you. You've got to get into the tier 7 heroic Rancor, and you got to get into the AAT. You got to get those top level gears so you can be gearing the top characters that you're gearing. The second is you're going to, from time to time, if you really want to get past that bottleneck and stay competitive with the guys that are spending money, you are going to have to invest a little bit in gear specifically. And so I did the initial 200 bump, and then I do $25 a week or $100 a month. I buy it in a one vault, $100 vault each month. That's my budget, $100 a month. Now, some people are going, oh my God, that's whale status. That is, but there are other people that spend $1,000 a month in the game. I know this for a fact. So, and there's some that spend more. So it's all in what you do. Now, I was in a previous game and had where I spent a ton of money, and I was very unhappy with myself. So I determined that if I ever played a game in the future, I would always have a budget, and I would stick to it, and I do that now with this game. And then when Ships came out, I spent another initial $200 investment to get into the top 5 of that arena. So for me, it was very strategic. I dropped a few $100 to get real high, real fast, both in the initial play and in Ships. And then I've spent about $25 a week ever since. On an uber rare occasion, I might drop a little bit extra if there's something that I want. For example, this week, I really wanted to get Nihilus up to 7 stars, and he's in shipments for crystals only. I almost never do this, but I went ahead and got an extra vault, so I had an extra amount of crystals, so I could buy all of his shards as they dropped, and a couple extra pieces of gear. But that's super rare. So my total lifetime investment probably ranges somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000, which is a ridiculous sum of money for a video game. But if you look at it in the scheme of how much I make, it's 2% of my income. So it's not that big of a deal for me. So it just depends on who you are and how much you have and what you're willing to spend on a hobby. This is a hobby, and by the way, it is a hobby of mine, and I make basically a significant amount of money more on YouTube than I do actually spending it on the game. So at this point, I see the money I'm investing as a return on investment, because I'm buying these things so I can showcase them on my channel, and then after I showcase them on my channel, I get views, and views end up paying me back with the revenue for ads, and that ends up kind of paying me back. So it's investing in my own business, so to speak, at this point.
Sorry, guys. You hear me now?
We can't hear you, sorry. April Fools.
What's that?
Damn. Sorry about that. I had to drop out. Hey, I just wanted to add a little bit more so we don't have to, just kind of closing thoughts. But I'm on iOS, and yes, I've spent money on the game as well. I'm a very old player, so I mean, since the beginning. So when when Barris was OP and all that, November 2015. But the one thing I learned as well, and there's actually not a lot of videos on this, is like how to spend money on this game, because that's probably the one thing maybe I regret, is there was just nobody doing it, obviously for the silly reasons it is. But the one thing I like to do, and I did this in the past, and I'm actually a little disappointed in CG and EA for not providing it anymore. But if you're gonna buy in, obviously buy the vaults, it's a better value, but also wait for the crystal events. I think there were a lot more crystal events in the past. Maybe it's just me, but the other thing I like to do as well is, being on iOS, if you surf like eBay, you can get these gift cards for iTunes. It's just more ways you can maximize your spending, and I've taken advantage of that throughout the years. Is I'll stock up on gift cards, because you get about, I think they're like $75 for $100 credit or something like that, so it adds up. And then you just wait for the crystals to go on sale. So I just want to throw that in. That's how I've done it. I don't binge spend like maybe some people do. So just keep that in mind as well.
Definitely. Cool. No, that sounds good. We're probably gonna have, if we don't have any kind of like crystals like offers for Star Wars Celebration, it may be May the 4th like it was last year. Potentially.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I mean,
so is there anybody else that wants to put in on this question?
I think we've gotten some pretty good responses so far. I mean, I'll just add that, I've spent a lot of money on this game. And I mean, it's not necessarily the most efficient money either. You know, I started off buying Chromium packs, and then I stopped after I got a whole bunch of characters like Leia and Qui-Gon and all them to like 4 or 5 stars. And I realized that it wasn't really cost effective, so I started just spending the crystals on refreshes, which is I think still today the most effective reason to use your crystals. You know, just buying crystals to refresh, you know, Cantina and your daily energy. And I think that after I did that, I started to really gain, you know, a nice. I mean, I was still spending money, but I was using them on just, you know, trying to attain characters the free-to-play way with the crystals that I bought. So
You there, Remon?
I think we lost him.
No.
No! He
Are
fell
we
into the
still
Starlight
on?
pit.
Yeah.
Do you want it to go in, Bella?
Yeah. You know, there's this pack, I can't remember what's it called, that you get for 21 days, like 100 crystals per day.
Bargain.
I think it's quite a good value, and it just shows up once you spend some money on buying crystals, and you can kind of watch a bit what you
Yeah, I
spend
think you have
on the
to
game.
spend $10, don't you, or something like that?
Yeah,
Round
yeah,
about
it's
that
not a
area.
lot, but then it shows up. And well, I spent actually a little bit more, and trying to reduce that. So because it's a game after all, and not a car or a house or something. And yeah, that was just an idea. This 21 day, each day 100 crystal package. That's probably not bad.
Yeah, that's best value. And also, side note, if you buy that, you get a bonus 100 crystals. So you get a total of 2,200 crystals. If you use all of it for premium character shards in shipments, like a Baze, because you have Chirrut now, but you don't really have the access to Baze because his node is too hard for you, you can get almost 30 shards purchased with that for $10. So you can almost unlock any character for a couple anyway from previous, you know, events or whatever, but if not, you still can almost unlock any character for the $10. So that's a $10 investment into one character. If you look at it, if they had a $9.99 pack for Baze to unlock him, you'd go, heck yeah, and you'd buy it. But people don't realize that $10.99 refresh pack gives you 2,200 crystals. If you were dedicated in keeping them all, you could easily farm up a character and almost completely unlock them just strictly through that. And then if you add in your additional even if you're in the top 500, your extra couple hundred crystals a day, you could easily get one of those characters. Just a thought.
Definitely.
yeah, sorry about I got cut off there. I got but you know, I was just saying that basically, like after a while, I just farmed characters. I got about 25 to 37-star characters from farming characters that way. Then I went back to Chromium again just to finish up all the characters that were 4 or 5 stars, like Princess Leia and you know, Darth Maul and things like that. And so I invested heavily again. And then you know, I really started just buying, like, you know, the Erodium characters when they came out here and there, and you know, occasionally putting in $100 here and there for a vault. Right now, what I do is I'm relatively free to play. I mean, I bought Nihilus's pack until I got him to 7-star because I just wanted Nihilus. But other than that, all the other new characters that have come out recently, you know, the Kruper pack, you know, the Phoenix Squadron packs, the rest of the Sith, I've just kind of got them at you know, 3 stars, and I'm waiting until they're farmable somewhere. And you know, I'm just using crystals to buy gear, and you know, again, you know, I'm doing a budget, you know, probably about, you know, like $100 a month. I'm just buying, you know, gear and, you know, stuff like that, and you know, for the rest of it, I'm just using, you know, my arena crystals and just, you know, farming stuff with that. So I've gotten to a point where, like, I have 99 or about 99 7-star characters now, so I really don't need much more for this game. I mean, I don't see anything coming out that I can't just make an adjustment with the roster I already have to try to go forward. So, I mean, there's no reason for me at this point to make any more significant crazy purchases. So I'm just going to keep working with what I got and try to, you know, incrementally improve my team. That's it.
Well, awesome, man. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next question, as we got everyone's feedback in there. So this one is myself and Ranger, but I'll let Ranger be the answer of this, and I'll put in any bits that Ranger misses out. Do you think?
Oh, thanks.
If there's anything that you miss out, like you know,
because we know Ranger's retarded, so as soon as he gets in there, I'll make sure to clean it up for you guys.
just making sure. I'm gonna let you have your say instead of me just saying it all, and you're just like, oh yeah, what Smithie said, you know. So if there's anything that you miss out, I'll input it in. So.
Okay.
Do you think a Zeta? Do you think a Vader is worth the Zeta, even if he gets nerfed and can't solo the Rancor anymore?
Well, yeah, of course he is. I mean, he's viable in PvP still. I mean, yeah, the Zal is taking over if you look at the latest meta report. But a Zeta is still, I think, one of the top Zetas you can get. You know, so you're not making a bad investment if you do that. Even if he gets, let's say he gets a nerf and they do something for Heroic 8, you know, the Rancor raid, which I don't see coming anytime in the future. Just say you just want to use it for PvP, you can still do that. It's a really good Zeta, so you're not going to go wrong. You know, sometimes people get so transfixed on one aspect of a Zeta, but you have to look overall where you can use it in different areas. And Zeta is definitely one you can get. Zeta and Zal, you know, Xeris. I mean, just they're usable in more than one area, and I think that's the key thing you have to remember. So even if it does get nerfed, you can still probably do crazy damage with it. And I mean, it's Rancor. You know, you just probably still do some significant damage. And I mean, I would. You can't go wrong. So I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I don't look at this game like, well, it could possibly get nerfed. It's not nerfed right now. They don't know when it's happening. It's effective. If you can get it, use it, take advantage of it. That's the best thing I can tell you.
Yeah, definitely. Like at the moment, all of a sudden he did become really, really good, didn't he? Has any of you is there a bug currently with Vader and the Rancor? Anyone know of in here? Warrior or Remon?
No, I'm not aware of any bug in there. The only one that people talk about is the turn meter reduction in phase 1 doesn't work proper with the Empire and stuff at times, but so people have to kind of manual for phase 1 a lot of times, and then once they're into phase 2, 3, and 4, they're fine. And I've heard people say that if you don't start in phase 1, you're screwed. I don't know anything about that, but I don't think they're going to put any kind of a modification into the raid, but if they did, if it significantly impacted Darth Vader in any way, they would give you your Zetas back and allow you to repurchase something else like they did Barriss if they modified Darth Vader's abilities in any way. And then if anything, they actually buffed him. They actually just did a secondary buff. He got his Zeta, and then it still wasn't good enough, and so they actually increased damage output on all of his abilities. Just even recently, so they're going the direction you want them to go, not against you. So I would definitely do that.
Yeah, definitely. I can't see them really nerving someone unintentionally, unless there is actually a big problem with them. Like there was with Barriss.
Vader was such a non-factor for such a.
Do we lose Remon again?
I think so.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Right, I've got a question here for you. This is actually quite a funny one. Because I don't know, and the late picks has put a question just for you, Ranger. Did Team Instinct make you shave your beard as part of the joining process?
Really?
That's
Yes. Or I don't know if you knew this, but if you have a beard and when you join Team Instinct, they make you shave it off, or they make you do some other kind of fraternity hazing ritual. I mean, what did they make you do? I mean, they made me shave my beard, even though on the stream I explained exactly why that was. Old school or something? What is going on? No, they did not make me shave my beard. Jesus Christ.
I was wondering, it makes me wonder, does Grande always get kind of like kicked out of Team Instinct? Because he's always like having a big beard, then it's shaved, it's like he's coming in and out,
I don't know.
Is he moving within guilds and within Team Instinct? And he has to shave his beard every time he joins the new guild, you know?
Yeah, I can say for a fact that Grande shaved his because he lost a bet, and I shaved mine because of the wife aggro, saying that I was starting to look like a billy goat. I thought I looked like I was starting to look more like a Chinese kung fu master, which is that didn't quite work out that well. So I kind of thought I would shave it off a little bit, and so I did. And then everyone was like, "Who are you?" Like, what do you mean? I'm not. I'm more. There's more than me than just a beard. I am growing back out again.
Did you see yourself as like a Danny Rand?
You know, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I am Iron Fist. Yep.
Cool. So we've got a question. I'm going to throw this one at Warrior because it looks like it was on a recent roster review of Warrior. So, question, it is for any, but I'm going to throw this out, Warrior. Saw in your recent Warrior roster review that Jawa's a level 72 and Gear 9 is the recommended level for the Tier 3 mod challenge. Is that level 72 Gear 9-ish typical for all of the Tier 3s?
Yes. So if you're going to have just a stationary target for all teams to go for, so you don't over-invest in a particular team, plus just a good standby investment in any team, if you want them to be viable for the potential future, is basically Gear 9 level 72. Star levels are less important. And then they're ready to go and they can unlock it. You'll get those people who say, oh, I think we had Remon back. You'll get people who say, oh, I did it with a 2-star level 50, blah, blah, blah. Stop. Just stop with that. Yes, you could probably shave it, do RNG, and get people in the 50s and 60s and try your hardest and potentially pass it after 19 tries with a level 60, whatever. Just, if you want to just go through it, beat it the first time, have enough power and only have to attempt it, a couple of times before success. Basically take your team to level 72, Gear 9. You might have one character at Gear 8 and still make it, or you might have one character that you have to bump up to, a few extra pieces in Gear 9, like a tank or something in that group. But that's what I did, and I zipped right through all of the 3-star mod battle challenges. So that's what I have in my head is where you should take it. I've given that advice to a number of people. They use it, and they say, yep, no problems, went right through it.
Awesome. There's actually another question for you as well from the late picks. At Warrior, since the video of your full Rogue One team versus those pesky Maul teams, has anything changed? Are they still a safe farm?
Nothing's changed. They're still a safe farm. I have a video coming out this week that actually shows Rogue One as the best Galactic War team. And I'll tell you the number one thing I hear complaints about everywhere is Galactic War. So if for no other reason you would want Rogue One for Galactic War, I literally go from start to finish on Galactic War and I end with almost no protection loss by the end of it. It's absolutely batty. So I would recommend them no matter what. Rogue One's now farmable, even Baze at 3 stars, completely viable. So yes, absolutely. As far as arena goes, what happens is teams see your comp, and so they build a team to beat your comp, and every team can be beat now. So I was smoking fools with my Rogue One, and then they put in Boba Fett and B2. So now their team is 3 Sith and two specific characters designed to beat Rogue One. And then they started beating me, and I stayed in the top 10 very easily and got my number 1 payout each time. But I also have a Sith team I'm working on, and I have another team that I just put a video out on yesterday, which is the number 1 team composition currently in the game. And that team composition is a Rex lead. So I have like 3 teams that I kind of rotate in and out and play with, but Rogue One's one of them. I can very easily slice through any of the Maul teams with the Rogue One very easily, but like Maul, it doesn't hold on defense very well. You're going to drop, for me, dropping anywhere below number 4 was unheard of, and now with Rogue One or my Maul team, I drop out of the top 10 sometimes. So what I'm seeing is a lot of these teams just aren't as defensively viable, but I noticed that as soon as we got the 4 times speed thing, because defensively was all dependent on really beefy characters and timing characters out, and that's just no longer a possibility. So I've got a lot of teams. Rogue One, go for it.
Cool. That's cool. Right, so I've got this next question, and this one is for Mark. From Mark. So, I know this is a quick question, but my arena team are all level 85 7-star, but gear 9 to a 10. I can score around 2 million damage in the AAT, not heroic, and 1 million on the heroic pit. So I was wondering if it's worth using. Okay. Cantina shards and tokens to gain shop currency to buy raid gear to get their arena team up to gear 11. Thanks. So, I think the question that he's asking here, is it worth to put his characters to gear 11? Yeah? Would you?
Absolutely.
Arena comes first.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to go wrong getting your characters. I mean, your arena characters should all be going to gear 11, for sure.
Yeah, you got to collect for payday. So that's the crystals.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look. So we'll go through the next questions and just gonna look through now. Here's a question here. So currently he's currently free to play, always have been, but I'm really tempted to buy some crystals so I can unlock Shore Trooper and buy some gear. I'd probably say buy base if you're gonna buy anybody. What do you guys say?
Bays.
Bays.
Yeah, I'd buy the $10 crystal pack and go for bays, for sure.
Base. You can get. It's going to take a little bit longer to get him away, but you can get him. You're good to go, really. Like, what has it been? How long was it that they've been available? When was it that they were put onto the hard node? Was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
It's been a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bays specifically.
Yeah, base.
Because before that, Short Trooper was there, but yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Bays is the one you want to go for.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be. I'd say overall, he's going to give your team much better with Inway than what Shore Trooper could. Let's have a look.
They're protecting that Preton, man. The two Preton characters are only in hard nodes.
Yeah, it's. I'm still not happy about that. It's just terrible. I think what
I've been
we're getting-
occasionally buying 320, spending the 320 crystals, like to get like 4 base shards when I see them in there. If I have the crystals, I get, I haven't even bought any vaults or anything. I'm just saying for my arena payout, if I just keep saving crystals for a couple of days, you can buy a base here and there and just help you along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've been farming him and buying his shards at the minute. In both ways, more ways than one. I want to try and get him done. I think I calculated it out. I could 7-star him in 20. I think it's 22 days. Because I'm using my arena stuff for it as well.
I have a question for you guys. Where do you think Death Trooper and Krennic are going?
Death Trooper Hard Node, Krennic Galactic War.
Yeah. Nope, totally agree.
9D for Krennic.
Death Trooper will go into Cantina because there hasn't been anyone added to Cantina yet. So level 8 Cantina, and then Krennic is going to go into probably the arena store.
Yeah, it's going to be easy to get. I could probably see that Death Trooper would go to a hard mode. Same as Nihilus. Nihilus or Sith Assassin are going to be going into a hard mode easily.
Right.
Maybe Sith Assassin more than Nihilus, because Nihilus is viable really at a 3-star. You can use him. It works in the arena, so giving people a 7-star version of him isn't going to make too much of a difference, but it could make a big difference, people having a 7-star Sith Assassin or Sith Trooper.
That's all I'm picking up at the moment. I'm ignoring the Krennics mostly, and Death Trooper. I'm just picking up Sith Assassin and Trooper. Sith Trooper. Sith Assassin is amazing. She's just, yeah, she really is at any level as well, as long as she's geared high enough.
I have a question for the panel. This is Warrior.
Great
I
work.
have a Zeta, and I did this on Facebook, and overwhelmingly everybody on Facebook through my poll said that I should do Xylo next. Kylo Ren, Zeta, and my options were, there was plenty of them, but Cody, so I could actually start really doing some damage in the heroic AAT, or Savage. And the reason why I was really leaning towards Savage is I have a great Sith team that does very well. The only thing I don't have is a cleanser, and they're not quite as durable as I'd like them. And I think Savage would bring that cleansing and durability that I'm looking for, but only with the Zeta. But then everybody's like, Kylo, and I was going to do Kylo initially until I got so into it. And I have a Sith Assassin that's at almost 300 speed. So, I mean, I can rock it offensively. It's just defensively that I need some. What do you guys think? What should be my next Zeta?
I'd say Xylo. I love him. He's amazing. I use him in PvP. He is an incredible. For me, it's Kylo Ren. Xylo is awesome, and
if you have a favorite Kylo, you got to do that, man. I mean, he is just absolutely.
He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
So, I was gonna ask, what's your two? So you only have two choices, Warrior? Is that what it is?
Well, he's got Cody, Xylo. Well, what he's got to choose from? Cody's, yeah, pretty much.
I already have like 6 characters Zeta. I've got Jin Zeta, I've got Boba Fett, I've got Vader, I've got Maul, I've got Barriss, I've got Nihilus already done. So I'm working on another one, and I'm just trying to figure out who to do, and those are my top 3. Cody, but I'm not McMull, so I don't know if Cody is even worth for me, other than just being a participant in phase 2 and 4. It's hard to do a video on it when you don't have it, so there's that. And then of course my Sith team just needs a little bit more durability, and I thought I could get that out of Savage, which I know I can because there's another guy that has a Zeta Savage, and it is hard as hell to beat. It's beatable, but it's harder, much harder than the other ones. And then of course Kylo Ren, which I have not yet done yet.
I would say Savage with your Sith team. Kylo Ren's pretty poop on defense, to be honest. He's easily maintained. Savage in a Sith team makes that Sith team 10 times better. Savage on his own is kind of like Kylo Ren. He's a bit poopy on defense. You just ignore him if he's not in a Sith team. So when they're in their kind of areas, or like Kylo's got his offense because you just really abuse outrage. On defense, the AI uses lash out, so you're wasting a Zeta, so there's no point really putting him on defense unless you've got a strong team that's around him, or someone that's attacking him doesn't have healing immunity. But again, Kylo can be ignored pretty easily. But on the other hand, you've got Savage. Savages that once they attack him, he's going to gain turn meter, he's going to dispel, well not dispel, he's going to cleanse all the stuff on him. I would say for a Sith team, he makes the Sith team 10 times stronger, but his durability outside of the Sith team is quite poopy. It's kind of like back to Kylo Ren's status on defense. He could just be left to last. There's no threat that he's going to have outside of a Sith team. At the moment, what he's going to be doing is he's going to be cleansing the team, so he's going to be that annoyance. He's going to be taking buff immunity. He's going to be making sure those characters survive. Every time he gets critted under a Zul lead, he's going to get the turn meter. He's going to get, 50%? So he's going to get 30% from his unique, 20% from taking a critical attack from, being under a Zul lead. So that's 50%. So he's going to be faster than a Barriss. So I would do her, but if you were planning to use him later on outside of a Sith team, then he's not going to be as good on defense, because again, you can just ignore him. You can just sit there and you just don't need to attack him and just take him out last, and he'll just be like one of those characters like you would with Kylo. You just take him out, stun him, just leave him alone, and you're pretty much good to go. Then just focus on him at the end. I would say Savage, for a Sith team, you can't really run a Kylo in that team, because defensively, again, I
disagree 100% with you, man. I use them on my PvP team with Sith Assassin.
Yeah, but on attack though, isn't it? So you're controlling.
But I don't drop that far. I mean, he's still a viable character. And one of the points you just made is Savage outside of a Sith team is poop. You know, so you know, unless you're just gonna be hardcore running Sith.
I do have every Sith at Gear 11.
Yeah.
Kylo's got a ship. Okay, Kylo's also you could solo, P1 of an AAT raid if you needed to with Kylo, and he's probably one of the harder hitting characters in the game now. And I don't know. I mean, I think all this stuff, like all of our opinions here, are going to be based upon our own experiences in arena. You know what I mean? So like, if you faced like a really nasty Kylo and a team that makes it work with Kylo, you're going to say, Kylo's pretty good on defense. If you're somebody who's, maybe got, only one or two people on your shard that even have a Zeta Kylo and they don't really use him that effectively, your opinion is going to be that he's not somebody you have to really worry about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your experiences. I mean, like when I first got a chance to face Sith Trooper in arena, I had a guy that got him to 7 stars. The guy didn't have him geared up all the way. Didn't have the greatest mods on him. I tried him. I guess I was beating him no problem, and I was like, "Oh, the Sith Trooper guy's not that great."
The only thing I'll add is, if you want to do the Zeta Kylo Ren, it's because you want to climb the arena rank, and you can spam his Zeta ability and climb up pretty quickly. But in your case, Warrior, I'd probably look into the Savage, and it's because you are looking into building a Sith team. I'm actually intrigued by Savage, and actually I like him as a leader, and I like him because I have a 7-star Sith Trooper with him. So my Sith Trooper, I got him to like 47% armor,
Saying? And then
which is crazy. And Savage's leader ability actually gives the team, I think, 75% defense, and then it gives them like tenacity. So he can cleanse the Sith Trooper, and when I fight other teams, like if they got like a Jedi team or something, I mean, General Kenobi is doing his basic on the Sith Trooper when he's taunting, and he's doing like 300 damage. It's ridiculous. So, that's another aspect. You can use Savage, or you can use them under Nihilus lead, or you can use them under Zeta Maul lead. So
definitely.
That's awesome. And actually, I had mentioned when Savage's rework happened on a video about him, but possibly just theory crafting being the best Sith leader, and I got laughed at on YouTube, and I thought, they don't have a clue what I'm thinking about, because I have Sith Trooper, and that's exactly the thought process that I wanted. But I wasn't even considering Savage until I went against a Zeta Savage, and it took all of 4.5 minutes to beat that Sith team, and normally I cut through a Sith team in less than 2. So it literally took more than twice as long to beat it because of that, and that's what intrigued me, because PvP I'm just hyper competitive. So
hey Warrior, do you know a squad that you want to try out? Is a Zol lead. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know if it clicked off. So what you want to try is a Zol lead, a Savage, a Nihilus, and a Chase. Reason why I say that is you don't need to really have Emperor Palpatine so much. If you've got a really quick, and what we're talking about here is it's still going to be an RNG chance, of course, but if you've got a really, really quick Maul, which some of us can get him, but he just needs to be a little bit quicker than Nihilus. There's going to be, out of those two characters, it's going to be 50-50 of who he cleanses, who Savage is going to cleanse. So it's either going to be more, if any of them are stunned or got any debuffs on them. So you wouldn't need to really run an Emperor Palpatine or anything like that. You could drop Emperor Palpatine and go with the cleanser from Chase, Dispel, and then you still got Maul, you still got Savage, and you still got Nihilus. It still makes a great team defensively. Kind of like a hybrid where you're kind of still using Savage to his full best of what he does, but you're narrowing it down to just two of a Sith that he's going to cleanse in the team. And it's either going to be the one that hits days or the one that's going to drain.
that's not a bad idea. I haven't got to try that, but I can't try that without doing the Zeta ability on Savage either. So that's the other reason.
Yeah, my vote
a lot
is
of theory
Savage.
crafting.
I mean, my vote is Savage. I think he's very underrated. I've seen it, so.
Yeah, he is strong. He is very strong. I'll give him that. I just don't. I just can't see him working very well outside of his kind of like area, like some Zetas I've seen. Outside of a Sith team, if no Sith were present, then I just find him that you could just leave him and just leave him till last. And there are ways to beat him, but again, it comes into the area that you have to tactically take these characters like you would with Kylo Ren. You wouldn't just go in full force with a Rebel team and say, here, have this Kylo, because your Rebel team isn't going to be left there anymore. You're just going to eat them, you know? So that there's definitely ways you have to face these characters, and it's having those characters, having that kind of like setup to make sure that you've got, and like Warrior said about people changing their teams to put B2 to cope with his Rogue One team, because they're the sort of characters that you need to put in to get rid of the buffs. Kylo, definitely you need to have healing immunity, stun him. Don't be putting debuffs on him because you're just making him angrier. You know, he's just then going to come back and just like 40k one of your characters. As easy as that. You want to be stunning him with another Kylo or another character, or putting on the healing immunity straight away. Healing immunity on him.
Try and use B2's Dispel on Savage. It doesn't work. I've tried over and over and over and over. For some reason, it doesn't work. I don't know why.
It's never been able to.
Yeah, but you can dispel 100% of all other characters. He's the only one that it's like every single time you attempt to dispel, it just doesn't work, or it triggers, which is crazy. So that was the other thing. Everyone uses B2 as a counter, and if I put him in, their counter is now useless. At least.
I was just going to say, Warrior, that as you've invested in your Nihilus, then Savage, to me, would be an imperative. Because you want your Nihilus as clean as possible and just going.
Yeah.
That, I mean, the two of them, I'm happy to run like Nihilus, Savage, Chase, GK, and it's fun.
All right, next question. I have spent too much time on me. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. Right, so I have to find one. I was too interested in that question. Does anyone got any question between yourselves? While I find one.
We're theory crafting online, so people can actually hear our thoughts on it. I think it was good.
Can I put a question in then?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay, this is a ship's question. So I'm one of the people that bought the Kylo pack, and I've got my 4-star command shuttle, and I'm currently running. I'm running endurance as my capital. I've got the 3 TIE fighters, Bigs and 5s. How do I introduce command shuttle into that lineup?
Short answer is you don't. Because I mean, I bought the Kylo pack not for the ship because it's just not a good ship. It's slow.
Stop that right now.
No,
it's awesome.
It's an awesome ship.
Awesome. It's not awesome. It's a bad ship. It is.
Yeah, but do you have all the characters all Gear 11 like Phasma? Yeah. Do you have First Order Storm? Yeah. What, you've got a 7-star First Order Gear 11?
Oh no, not 7-star, but I mean I've got it because I had to do the for the mod challenges you have to get your First Order up there to do it. But that ship is just it's not a well-designed ship, right? It's slow, and for what it does, it just in a lineup that if you're going to use a lineup, it just doesn't work very well. There's just certain ships like Geonosian Spy. Don't invest the time and effort. Now, if you got all the other ships and you got time on your hands, great. But the other thing too is the problem that I'm seeing with ships too is they've introduced ships, right? But then they haven't put them anywhere where you can farm them again. So we have a lot of people that are out there that have like, the basic stars of the ship. Now you can run them in PvP. However, some of the ships are not. They're just not that good, and you're going to get creamed if you try to run them in any place. It's just unfortunately the way they've done it, So, so there's some stuff that they need to work on the ships, but I would not. It's unfortunate to say, but that ship just doesn't do anything for you in PvP, and is going to get you killed if you try to use them. I mean, unfortunately.
You see, Kylo.
I know.
Kylo will be the 3rd Zeted pilot. For me,
I don't think his ship's that too bad. I think you could run it effectively with, for example, you could go with a Tarkin lead. Not a Tarkin, sorry. We'll go with an Admiral Akbar. You're going to be putting in the I call it the Cry Wing. You know, the Cry Wing, Krylo Wing. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Yeah. So then I'd say to put Biggs in, the 2 TIE fighters, and then I would say, so you've got that. I'm trying to think it, and then maybe Slave 1. So you've got, so pretty much what you're putting in there is three ships that can target lock, and then you're pretty much abusing the whole kind of like Biggs, kind of like healing, and then when one of your ships goes down, you know, at the moment, it's going to be hard for someone to go straight for this kind of like Kylo ship. Would you agree with that? If you've got 2 TIE fighters and a Slave 1 and a Biggs Taunton, they're all going to, on their basic, the AI uses their basic attack, that's pretty much going to then just smash out target locks. And then you've got the big ship with, when you bring in the Scimitar, and then with the counter attack, it's just going to keep healing and healing and healing. I don't think it's a bad ship, because as long as you're getting the target locks up, there's just going to be lots of turn meter, and then with First Order, I think you could really hurt somebody. I think you could physically hurt somebody.
Use it against Akbar because of the healing immunity. So his healing wouldn't be effective. But
there's a reason why nobody uses that ship.
Yeah. Nobody uses that ship.
Nobody uses that ship for a reason.
You don't watch Warrior from Team Instinct, do you? I have 2 videos this week alone showing you me tearing through teams in the #1 slot. I use Kylo Ren's ship every day and have for 2 weeks now because I finally got my First Order Stormtrooper up to gear 10, which took, by the way, forever. The purple gear on that's atrocious at like almost 1500. It's terrible. It's one of the top 3 worst purple in the game, but I've got his ship in there, and yes, because it's 4 stars, it's underpowered, and yes, I have a huge group of people that are 7-star around him, but everyone in my top 4 runs all 7-star ships, and so I have an underpowered team on my arena. A lot of people have 170,000, 165,000, and I'm at 160 even, and I use Kylo. And listen, if you're going to run First Order, and you're in arena, would you say that Captain Phasma's junk? The answer, hopefully, would be no, because she can speed everybody up with Victory March. He has Victory March built in on one of his abilities. Plus, he has 4 abilities. 2 of those abilities give other characters extra turns. One ability gives the whole team almost 100% turn meter, 73% turn meter. So all you got to use is that ability on himself. He gives the whole team 73% turn meter. Come on now. All your ships going to go again before the other team? You tear right through them, especially if you have a couple good attackers. And if you're target locking and you have First Order TIE Pilot, you're going to not only have target lock, but you're going to do his special over and over and over and over again. And if you pair Slave 1, guess what? He'll do the speed up. He gets to use his ability. He does targeting individually, gives another person a extra turn as well. That's another ability. Target Slave 1, then all of a sudden Slave 1's using his special ability 2-3 times in one battle. I did it on a video that I released last night. So it's one of those things, if you use him right, he's the most utilitarian character in the game as far as ships go. He's awesome, and when he's 7-star, he's going to be insane and on everyone's show.
And also as well, he can do healing immunity, is that right? Did someone say? I haven't looked.
He can.
So all these ships that have all this protection, regain, and all that stuff, that he's just going to rip through them because they won't be able to do this whole tactic where... I don't know, I think he's a good ship. I haven't looked into everything about him, but I definitely know where, if I had him, where I would put him.
I think I'm going to...
The problem is that that you have to build up 3 characters to get
of course.
Fully upgraded, and I haven't tested the ship yet, but I plan to. The same reason that Warrior mentioned is the turn meter games he's playing and healing immunity, and he has Dispel, so it doesn't look too bad. But as I said, I don't have the characters upgraded, so can't really see his full potential yet.
Well, that's the other thing. He can dispel, which you need a dispeller, and I was running into an issue with needing a dispeller. And on his basic, which he gets a number of turns, he gets protection up. He adds 40% protection to himself. That keeps him alive.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to try him again tonight.
Yeah, put him around with Biggs. Put Biggs there as your tank. Put the 2 TIE fighters in Slave 1. And try Akbar lead as well. You could have Mace. You could go Mace. Like, try with Mace if you want. Just sometimes Akbar is good for these teams that counter attack and attack outside their turns and assist because they're just going to heal.
Yeah.
That's one way of abusing the big ship is using Akbar, then putting in, for example, Sunfak or anything like that, and if you do get a chance, or even starting with the Scimitar, then straight away using it on Biggs, for example, with the Scimitar if you were attacking, of course, and then just watch him just constantly heal with his counter attacks. Heal, then you'll just be using your basics, and he'll just pretty much have full health. You probably finish the whole battle without losing anyone. It's a good little tactic.
Of course, because he's going to target every single one on the,
On the counter attack, he's going to heal. He's going to heal off the heal protection again, off any basic attacks that give target a lot from any of your TIE fighters. Yeah, there's one way of like beasting through any team in the game. It absolutely does wonders. Right, so is there any other questions that we've got on the inside? Before we move on. Is that a no?
Let's get to those people's questions.
Let's do it. There's is Xylo still worth Zatering? Yeah. We could all agree. Yes.
We just answered that.
Yeah, we did. What is your thoughts? There is a question in the chat that I've kind of gone past a little bit. Phase 1. Do you think that will ever be changed? Because there's always that part. Would you say it's working as intended with the whole resetting the kind of escape? What is your thoughts? We'll start with Warrior first, and we'll move down. If you keep it a couple of sentences, so we can get through them.
I don't think they're going to change anything about Phase 1, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't Zeta Kylo for Phase 1. Even if you can do it, it takes forever. You've got to attack, do very little damage, escape for 5 turns until you can get escape, and then go back in and do... I don't have, an hour and a half to do a Phase 1. I would rather go in and do 600,000-700,000 with my Jedi team and move on. So I wouldn't... I think it works fine. I think it's working as intended. And I personally wouldn't spend the time on Kylo unless you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, because there was the whole thing that they changed with Maul, which was the thingy, and it would take for you to, I don't know, it'd take about 40 hours for you to on auto to solo the entire raid with Maul on normal. 40 hours. People would just leave it on auto, just going all the way through.
I mean, the 4 times speed helped a lot, so...
That's true. That's
the only thing I can say. I mean, I personally wouldn't Zeta Kylo just for Phase 1. I mean, I'd do it for the other aspects of the game. But yeah, I think it's working as intended as well. They probably didn't think about his Zeta, but pre-Zeta, he was resetting the escape button as well, and nobody complained. So I mean, it was the Zeta that really gave it the made the exploit more
I think the reason why the reason why they actually changed it wasn't because of the normal, it was because of the Sidious lead. At the moment, I do a Phase 4 with a Sidious lead and Maul, and I can score around about 2 million on Heroic on Phase 4 with Kylo in there, of course.
You gotta do that video soon. I want to see that.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do it. But pretty much, my Maul can take still probably about 4 hits with her enraged. At the end, you can still take 4 hits from him and still survive and go into the next topo. Even though he's got healing immunity and all that stuff, he's just got that much health. He's hitting on his basic. By the end of the actual kind of match, he's hitting for about 40k on his basic against the turrets. It's insane. Critting, just takes him out with 1 hit. It's a beautiful thing to see, but I will need to record it. It is a little bit difficult sometimes to do, just because you have to line it up right with Barris. Literally, Yeah, sometimes if you go a little bit too quick, her cooldowns haven't happened in time, and oops, the airstrike comes and takes you out. Let's have a look. So, what is your advice on mods for Sith Trooper? If we go with Loki, have you modded up your Sith Trooper?
I did. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of separate mods. I mean, but the main thing I did for mine is I looked for all my mods that had high defense secondaries, which I'm starting to realize they're pretty rare. I think the highest defense secondary I have is like 32, and that's it. So I'm not sure if anybody else on the panel has even looked at defense secondaries, because everybody, I'm sure, is more excited about speed secondaries. But my advice to anybody who's doing Sith Trooper is just get the armor as high as you can get it. I think his base armor is like 32%. If you can get that thing to like 45%, I mean, he's a truck. And if you have a Nihilist lead and he's got Retribution on him, then the opposing team is going to hit him for like 3,000 health, and then he's going to regain like 5,000 health. So he kind of has like a built-in Varys effect with a Nihilist lead. And obviously, not a lot of people are using him because he just went semi-free to play. But I think there's going to be a lot more showing up once there's more videos out and all that. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel if you want to see it. So
definitely,
that's
good.
my advice.
Defense mod sets.
I find the defense secondaries actually add more armor to the character. I tried to do the percentages, like I have a instead of the speed arrow, I use a defense arrow with defense secondaries, and then the triangle as well. I put more defense on it, and then I just run a couple of protection primaries with defense secondaries.
The percentages are in my opinion, the percentages are pretty crap. It's a percentage on top of a number. So if it's adding a certain percent, if you've got base numbers that are given it from secondaries, it's going to be much better than a percentage, unless the percentage is really high. But if it's low, as what we know, that the defense is kind of like sometimes around 3,000, something like that. An extra 10% isn't really going to do much to 3,000, whereas you've got protection, and it's something that an extra 10% to 40,000 is going to be a lot more. And I think that's the problem with the kind of like the set itself. It doesn't really go up much because of that reason, because the base stat of it isn't that high, and then when it goes through all the converters in game, the percentage just isn't very high compared to a raw number. That would boost it more.
I was stunned. I pulled a three dot offense data bus with protection, and I think it went up to like 1,700 whole number, and I tried it. I just literally put it in place of a 23.5%, a max 5 dot protection, and the 3 dot was higher. My protection actually increased, which shocked me. Shocked me that a 3 dot would actually outperform a 5 dot for protection.
It's because of those base stats. Those numbers are higher than percentages.
Yeah. It's making me review my my mods a bit more, or scrutinize them more.
Yeah, so even when it's got like 1.9%, but then if you've got one that's got like 1,000, just like say if you've got 1.9% increase, then you've actually got a mod that's actually 1,500 extra protection. The 1,500 is probably going to be more. But it depends on how high your protection is on that character. If it's really, really high, it just depends what the kind of like stat of your protection is to what it's kind of worked out. Because remember, a 1.9 on a 1.9% on 100k protection is only going to be 1,900. So if your character's at 50%, it's probably going to be an extra like 8,900.
I am just answering Sir Loki's question. I'm on my GG page now. My highest secondary is 27
for defense.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I mean, I've got a Sith Trooper. So
have a look at mine.
Yeah, they're rare. I mean, really, it's
Yeah.
one of those stats that everybody forgot about or ignores, but I've seen it in battle. I mean, if you load him up with armor, I think when GK does his AOE whatever he's got, where everybody attacks. I mean, the guy is still standing, and you barely took any damage off
Ooh.
of him. It's hilarious. So
Ranger, did you
I'm
want to
just looking.
continue with the questions? Well, I just sort this out. I've got a bit of problems with OBS.
Are you having problems with OBS? Okay, I got to figure out where you left off with the questions. Oh Lord.
Okay, I'll let you know where I left off. Actually, it was. If we
I'm
start
looking.
with, is Sharuk good without Baze? I think Baze is the best. So round about that, it'd be from Dunkmaster Darius. So I'll start it off. Is Sharuk good without Baze? And we'll throw that at Remon. You there, Remon? Warrior, did you want to jump in?
I answered this on Facebook just earlier today, and I would say no. I mean, he's a good rebel, don't get me wrong, and even by himself, he's got the cleanse and the tenacity up potential, and he's got the ability to attack and stuff, but and do a lot of damage with his attacks. But honestly, Baze keeps him alive, and it's just almost impossible to kill him with Baze. So it's without him, he's a relatively easy target to target and kill. So if you didn't have Baze, you would have to have Shore with him, or otherwise you're just going to end up having him destroyed. So I would say no, not unless you have Baze, really, or an auto taunter of sorts.
Definitely.
Yeah, they kind of go together. All right, I'm not sure if this is the right spot, but let's see. From Captain Blackbeard, if you had the time, would you spend all your ally points or save them in hopes of them being useful in the future?
I've got 1.4 million at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm saving mine.
There's my answer.
Yeah, I'm saving mine for sure. You just
700k.
never know.
I started spending mine. I got bored. Um.
I'm looking.
Yeah, at the moment, I just can't see what they're gonna do with it. Are they ever gonna bring tournaments where you use allied points? Yeah, I don't know. Will they bring tournaments back? Will allied
All
points
right.
ever be usable?
All right, here's a question. Can I use Poggle and K2SO on a free-to-play droid raid squad in place of B2 and Jawa
Yo.
Engineer?
No. No, you need Jawa Engineer for sure.
Does someone else want to say something?
Lobot. Sorry, my alt used Lobot for a little while, but yeah, another tune that needs massive. No, Jedi Engineer. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Let's see here. David Percy, question. My guild is in Heroic Pit, normal AAT, but only 30 out of the 50 people contributing 600 tickets. I'm one of very few who suggest strats videos. One, should I bill? And if so, find a new good guild. What are people's thoughts on this question? Who wants to take this one? Let's go.
I'll take this one. Okay, go with it.
Oh, Smithie, go ahead.
If someone's not, I would probably say bail. If people aren't hitting their 600, that's affecting your personal progression. 600's a lot. These are raids, so if you, depending on how much you're using, if people, I just don't get it. Why would you want to be around people? They could be your friends, and maybe you could probably bring those friends with you, or just keep the guys that aren't hitting 600. I guess that would be where I would look into it, and where I'd go with that is, if they're not hitting the 600, then something has to be done. Either they go, or you go and join a guild that's going to benefit you in your game. That's what I would say. What would you say, Loki?
I think it depends on David himself, if he wants to take up the job to cheerlead his guild and get them to do the 600, or if he just wants someone else to do it. Then it's probably easier for him to find a new guild.
Yeah, that's true, but I just don't. what sometimes I personally don't get with some kind of like guilds and teams is the 600 is part of the game. You know, if it is casual and if you're not going to hit it, then that person should leave and just go and join a guild that fits their style. Don't hold other people back because you can't be bothered to do your 600. That's my kind of like thoughts on it. Maybe it could be the kind of like competitive in me. Maybe it's kind of like how I'd look on it, but I would hate to be in any guild where someone's not hitting 600. I wouldn't stay in the guild personally.
And
Yeah, I
the
mean,
second part was it easy to find a new good guild? Of course, if he
Yeah, there's
does
loads
his
of guilds out
600
there.
and is contributing, then it's easy to find a good guild.
Yeah, I was going to add, I mean, we have the luxury as players just that, I mean, we could get up and go find another guild, but I mean, you want to surround yourself with players that have the same kind of play style that you got. So, you know, if you're a casual player, then, you know, yeah, go join a casual guild, or if you're looking for something more, join a more serious guild. I mean, it's just going to make you happier, and then you're going to play more.
See, I'm actually the leader of my guild. I have the magic buttons, which yeah, it's fun. But you know, the question I pose is, why join a guild if you're not going to raid? 600 a day equals 31 raids in a 31-day calendar month. Why are you going to turn that down? You're getting credits, you're getting gear that you can only get from the raids, you're getting shards. You know, yeah, it sounds like he's in a casual guild. If 20 are not doing it, unfortunately, I'd be saying
that's a lot,
either
isn't it?
chop the 20 out or look to a guild that wants to raid.
Definitely.
All right, next question. Would Sharut replace Lando or Akbar on a Wigs team?
Yes.
No. Not about base.
Oh.
Not about base.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Chase.
Sharut, yeah, just True by himself, not Chase.
No. No.
No. Lando's way better than Sharut on his own in a team like that. Lando's got that AoE attack. If you have no base to protect Sharut, Lando is squishy, but Lando just hits more generally. He does an AoE attack.
I think I'd rather have Ray than Shira.
All right, next question for the panel. How viable is Zeta Luminari in Arena?
That's what.
It's from Austin Lynch. He says, looks bad for Zeta. So how viable is Luminar for Arena with the Zeta? Warrior, you might want to take this one.
Alright.
I don't know. I didn't even know she had a Zeta, so that tells you something. She's not on my radar. She's not on my radar as even as. Yeah, she's not on my radar for top 10 Zetas, and so because she's not on my radar for top 10 Zetas, I just totally forgot she even has one. I did see a single video on Facebook where somebody had posted a Luminara that was Zeta, and she was on the team, and they were doing decent. And so I'm guessing any character with Zeta will do relatively well on the shard you're at, but I don't see it as a top 10 Zeta, so I wouldn't personally.
All right. Next question. This is from Jonathan P. He's wondering if he did buy crystals, would it be better to get the 100 a day or an actual pack? Who wants to take this one?
100 a day. That's such great value.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that he's going to have to employ a bit of patience, but yeah, no, I'd go with the 100 a day pack.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes certain packs come out that, you might want to think about investing in. I know I did with the Boba Fett pack. I was like, yep, I'm going to get that. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Anybody else thoughts on that? 100 a day or an actual pack?
You get 900 more crystals with the daily pack, plus you're going to buy that little. You're going to probably be using it for refreshes, and so you want as much refresh as possible. I would do daily pack.
All right. From Pedro Santos. Thoughts on Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta? What are our thoughts on the Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta? Remon, Loki, you guys want to jump in on this one? Either of you there?
I mean, it really needs a Yoda Zeta as well with the battle meditation, but with all the new Rebel Phoenix coming out, I mean, it could be viable. On offense, on my arena shard, I got a couple of them, and they do climb and they do get into the top 10, top 5. So, but I don't see them holding on defense unless you got the Yoda Zeta as well.
Okay. Anybody else?
I have one that the guy's got all the Zetas, and he's got it built out perfectly with a General Kenobi. And offensively, he shreds through us, and then defensively, it does take about 3.5 to 4 minutes to beat because of all the foresight. So it's not impossible to beat, but it's more durable than the Zol teams.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Here's a question from Bob H. Bob. I have a good Rebel team. Could you give me some advice on what teams to go focus on next? I'm level 75. So he's got his Rebel team, looks like it locked in place. Which team do you think he should go for next? Let's see. Is Remon there, or is he still having issues?
I think he dropped off.
Oh, he dropped off? Okay, sorry, I can't see that. So, Mike, what do you think they should go for next here?
Oh, that's a good question. What is the next meta?
Not meta, just they've got a good Rebel team. They're level 75, and they're looking to go farm another team. Who should they focus on next?
Empire.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Warrior. I was thinking either First Order with the new, with the next movie, or Empire. Empire has the events more, doesn't it? Yeah.
I was gonna say continue Rebels, but go for the Rogue One guys. So.
Yeah, I like the Rogue One guys, but that's I don't know. I my heart kind of goes out to the Rogue One characters because I love the movie so much. I don't think you can go wrong either way, really. I mean, Empire or Rogue One characters. I think the Empire ones are a little bit easier to get per se than the Rogue One characters. But yeah, I think both those teams.
Or an outside bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters.
Empire is also
With
Empire is easy to gear, really, really easy to gear. Almost all the Empire are easy to gear. So if you're wanting something like droids that's quick, fast, easy to gear, Empire's the way to go. And Empire's mainstream, it's potency mods, it's arena viability, it's events. Empire is one of what I call the 4 pillars of the game. It's one of those necessary evils you need to do, whether you like Empire or not.
But what if you don't like Empire Warrior? What if you just want to be Jawas? What are you gonna do then, buddy?
You're going to do Empire.
You like the dark side? We have cookies and punch. Or
cookies that punch.
Well, I'm not going anywhere near that. All right, next question. This is from a boy, Luke Thyrocker. What is a good team comp for Jin without a chase? Is she okay at 4 stars? Ew.
No and no.
No, yeah, I'm about to say I can't. As soon as I saw this question, I was like, I can't even think of a team. She's so dependent on that Rogue One comp team.
The other comp I see is her with Biston, and she has to be at 7 stars, and then you can use her in multiple raids. You can use her in Heroic AAT, Phase 2, Phase 4, or Phase 1 with Biston, and you can use her in Heroic Rancor, but you've got to have her 7 stars for the Heroic levels, and you really need Biston to be her best buddy, because he gives turn meter, she gives turn meter. Between the two of them, they're a great combo, but without Biston, I would say no, unless you have Chase.
Yeah, All right, let's see here. James Mason asks, what do you see taking over the meta from Zol? What character can do this, or do they need to add someone new? I'll throw my 2 cents in. I think the Rogue One team is pretty good against countering Zol. I think the Rex teams that you've seen out there are pretty good. Anybody else got any thoughts? Do you think that those teams can handle that? Or do we think we need a new character to be introduced to handle the Zol Zeta? Because last time I checked the meta report, it was like 45% of teams leaders were using Zol. It's like 700 something teams. who do we think? What do we think about that question? Let's go to Loki.
My prediction, I think with Nihilus going semi-free to play, I think you're going to see a lot more Nihilus leads. His leader ability, the Sith characters can't crit anymore, so it almost kind of shuts down Rex lead teams. And, he does fairly well against Zol teams, especially with a Sith trooper. So we might see a shift. Still going to be Sith, but I think you're going to see more Nihilus as more people get them.
All right. Anybody else? Do you think there's going to be a new character introduced? They'll have to introduce a new character. Do we think there's another team comp out there that may take over the meta?
I've got a good question when you.
I've got
okay.
an observation.
Go, Bella.
I find it quite interesting that we are on Jedi Academy after Phoenix is released, and not one single question pops up about Phoenix. Yeah, I mean these are the new characters, and the events are still running, and yeah, it's a bit sad in a way.
Well,
we are talking this all the time.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think
Welcome
just
to
because
the dark side.
yeah, not that the critic isn't Empire dark side, but he's just not viable. That's why you don't see him being run.
I wouldn't say he's not viable.
Come
I wouldn't
on.
say
When
that.
the Sith came out,
Strong.
the same evening you saw the videos. And
Well, you should check my channel. I've got loads of Krennic stuff when it come out. I got so much hate for it too. I've got loads of Krennic stuff. I've even got Krennic stuff sitting on my Google Drive as well. I didn't release because I thought, you know what? Why should I? If people don't want to see it, I'll keep it to myself.
I haven't even activated mine.
I've got like good battles.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually starting to use. I am starting to use Death Trooper. I think him paired up with Nihilus under Zader lead is actually a pretty fun team. So, but yeah, Krennic, I haven't even activated mine either.
Yeah, I've got a 6-star Death Trooper. He's great.
Yeah,
What
I think with the new Rebels coming, Death Trooper might make a comeback. I don't know. We'll see how the Phoenix teams
I think anything
play out.
I think anything at the moment can beat this Phoenix team.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem with EA and CG's business model at this moment, and I'm not trying to be derogatory towards them, but they've released way too many characters way too quickly, and people were just like zoom, 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 Sith, grab it, and zoom, 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 and you're 6 a day, 6 a month, 3 a month, way too much. Reworks included with new characters. We're talking 12 new characters and like 12 reworks in the last 2 months, if that, and it's too much too quickly, and somebody and something is going to be overlooked. And unfortunately for us, it was Death Trooper and Krennic, and part of that, aside from too many characters too quickly, was the price point of Krennic and Death Trooper really sticker shocked everybody and blew even the whales out of the water, and there was almost we're not going to do it out of principle. So they kind of took a hit for that. The pricing was wrong, and then too many too quick. That's my opinion on those, why they are not so popular.
I agree.
So what do you guys think of the Phoenix squad right now?
But the Phoenix, for me, it looks like fun, not seriously going to beat anything, but
Well, yeah. It's sad because I love Rebels. I absolutely love that show.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
I've got, the characters. It's just a great show, and the characters are great. I've been underwhelmed by what I've seen from the characters. I mean, Ezra looks pretty decent. He might have some places here and there, but the rest of them is kind of like, Now you have to have them all together really to be viable. But it's like, you look at what they can do and stuff. You're just kind of like, Sometimes they introduce these characters, and you're just like, what? It's like the character of the month, Pal. It's like, why?
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 Why bring another rebel out when we desperately need old school rebels, original rebels? Why are we getting all these new flavors?
Don't we?
Because they're popular.
Don't do POW, you guys. I'm telling you right now. I'm not trying to be rude, but don't do POW, and this is why. His like whole press up is getting a bunch of turn meter, and going a lot, and it's all based on your rebels doing basics. Guess what? All the rebels are based on specials, like a ton of specials, 2 each. So he's not going to work the way he's intended because he's being paired with a bunch of characters that you're using specials on all the time. So I wouldn't do POW at all. Not one bit of investment in him.
Absolutely.
Maybe they'll
I agree.
maybe you'll put him in a Phoenix squad and let them all counter.
Oh boy.
The other issue I see with POW too is your Rogue One squad is pretty much packed. I mean, you got the big 5 in them right now, right? So I mean, how do you slide in POW? You know?
How does POW get in the game before Bodhi? I'm distant. How do they? I don't understand it. And then
I don't either.
Do you reckon that he's going to change into transmorph into somebody else because he's been launched on the 1st of April?
No.
Or is that just wishful thinking on my part?
I think everyone wants it to be an April Fool's. Well, there might be someone that actually wants POW.
I don't know.
Grande seemed excited for him.
Grande gets excited about some really weird things. So, I mean...
Maybe he's sitting there thinking, can I put them in my Night Sister squad? The specials may not be that good, but I can use their basics.
So, can I just give a shout out to Wells Fargo, which to me is the video of the year. I love it. I shared it everywhere. It was brilliant, and I applaud.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's the thing about Finn, my other partner in crime over at RSG, is he'll take something that's said in the stream, right? Because we said that, we just said Wells Fargo as a kind of a little joke thing during the stream, and he took it and made a commercial about it. It's just like, the dude has got like an incredible mind. Of course, he's a doctor and working on the NBA and stuff, but he comes with stuff that we always joke, and when we're talking, him, me, and Grande about the stream, he takes a shower, he comes back, he's like, I just took a shower. We know like 50 ideas are about to come flying at us. I don't know what it is about showers with that dude, but he comes back. So,
cold showers.
What's that?
Nothing. It's probably just a British joke.
He also did a great video, fun video about 5 new setters. I don't know if you've seen it.
Who? Say that again?
It's Infinity did a video on fun setters, like. Oh
yeah.
Fun video.
Yeah.
That was quite funny as well.
The news report about all the different news.
Yeah, news report, exactly.
Yeah, like he was doing CNN. I deal with a lot with Grande and Finn. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, they're fun stuff, and he throws ideas at me, and I'll look at it and just like, what's wrong with you, man? So it's something else. Let's see here. Question: is there any information? This is from Hexton Zorn. La. What a name! Is there any information when Death Trooper or Krennic are becoming farmable?
I'd probably say, when is Star Wars Celebration?
April 13th to the 15th, I believe, or something like that. Mid-April, I know that.
Probably then. And then after that, you've got the Phoenix Squadron, then we'll go into the Chromium, then we'll get Nihilus by the following month, I'd say. So it's probably going to be...
Could be.
I'd probably say that's because the Nihilus thing was put into the packs early. It wasn't the full 6 weeks, nor was it the full 4 weeks, was it? Because the packs weren't even on sale for 4 weeks.
We've got the May the 4th week coming up as well.
Yeah, there's that coming around.
May 20th, maybe.
Yeah, the anniversary as well, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. From James Mason, with the Han Solo movie coming out in May, that's May next year, will we see bounty hunter scoundrels becoming meta in the coming year or the new year?
Maybe, but it won't. But it won't. The characters in the game, I don't think. I think they'll introduce 950 new characters with like 3 that'll be staples.
Yeah, as long as we get Bosk, I think we'll be all right. I don't know if they'll be the meta. I mean, that's one, it's too far away, and 2, We don't know what the character's abilities would be in 3. That's if they even introduce any new bounty hunters to the game. So there's a lot of ifs.
They'll bring
Technically, they should be.
Embo in for sure. He's already in the game.
So, all right. Here's one from Darth Aldru. I think I'm saying that right. What is your top 3 Sith that you think should be in the game? I'll throw one out there. I think it should be definitely Darth Revan, but that's just my little wishful thinking. Anybody else? More Sith, more Darth Sith lords from the past that we'd like to see in the game?
No, I'm pretty sick of Sith at the minute.
You don't want Sith Jar Jar?
No, definitely not. There's always Traya. I'm not really interested in Traya. I'm not interested really much in Sion. It'd be good to have him, but I think we've got Sith at the moment. We're in Sith meta, and it's just the dodge meta. I think Sith at the minute, unless there's something new and is really good about the Sith that doesn't involve a more lead, then I'd probably say, yeah, what the hell, let's have Sion and Traya. But other than that, other Sith Lords, whatever Sith Lords is there, there's Malgus. Malgus would probably be pretty cool. I'd like to see Malgus.
You know what I'd like to see? Revan, but since he was both light and dark side, not have any title, just be Revan. And you can use him on the Jedi, or you can use him as a Sith. I think that would be kind of cool.
Would be cool, but I'm just still bummed that we haven't got no original Star Wars characters, really.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I wake up and I'm just like, where is Hoth Leia? Where is Luke? Why do we get animated, Phoenix Squads and Pio? It just, not to be negative about the entire thing, but it kind of just puts a horrible taste that the rebels I want are not the rebels in the game. And it's just, I just don't know. How is everyone going to react if they say next week, guess what guys, we've got another rebel and it's Jedi Luke? After that'd be like, 7th rebel in a row? 8th rebel? See, that's what I mean. I just think the game's too flooded with one faction. And it just... too many rebels, but not the right rebels. I know Ranger agrees with me on that one. He wants Jedi Luke. And I want Mace Windu to be reworked as well. I want Mace Windu to have a V-pad. Yes. Stop bringing out all these characters and rework important characters like Mace Windu to battle the Sith. You know, Yoda.
Oh God! Sometimes you just wonder. God. So I don't want this to turn into a Jedi Luke discussion. So Ricardo Salinas question: is Rogard Arena viable still?
Depends.
Who wants to take that one?
Go for it, Michael, for you.
I'd say yes. If you're running if you've got Zeta, I mean he's gonna pop up at all the important times rather than just be, a pre-taunt or whatever. No, I'd still say he's speed down, shock, yeah, and very tanky.
Okay. Let's see. Question here from Atomic Robot. Would you, use Zeta Savage under a Zeta Maul or Nihilus unique? Are those two, Maul or Nihilus, who do you think Zeta Savage would be better with?
You run all 3, right? With Zeta Maul lead and then Nihilus and Savage.
Mm-hmm. But what if you only had to pick one? Who would be better? Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, unfortunately. You mean Optimus Prime? You sure you seen the movie? Yeah, you just.
I gotta say,
Okay.
that was a pretty good impression of Optimus Prime. And you sounded
Hey,
exactly.
Smithie can do voices and he can do sound effects. All right, let's see. Next question. Oh, now you want to get it right. Thanks, Obama. Let's see here. Hello, all. This is from Robert Nishimura. With with your non-Zeta pit raid lineup, do you have an alternative for the TFP? Mm, an alternative for, I guess, for TFP. Pilot?
I don't think TFP is in a traditional mall Zeta lineup.
I just looked at this question like, what? Robert, if you could expand on your question. With your non-Zeta pit raid lineup, do you have an alternative for TFP? I think you need to be a little bit more specific there, Robert.
I think you know about my video.
Yeah, Smithie had a video on that.
Oh, okay. So, I was trying to get the context of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about in a rank raid. You know, if there's an alternative to running TFP and like a Vader Zeta team, I think.
No, he's talking about with the non-Zeta, because I did a video where you can run, pretty much you can solo the raid without a Zeta, but no, TIE Fighter Pilot was a big part of that with that tenacity down. But you could throw in another character that does turn meter down, throw in another one and do it, but you're going to have some high potency stuff on your characters. Or if you wanted to go for a quick time but not solo it, then you'd go with the Binks option with Wedge. And put Phasma.
You go with Dengar too.
Yeah, Dengar. Always an option.
All right. Next question from Juke847. What do you think about my arena team with Zader, Sidious, Palpatine, Yoda, Lando? His current rank is 200 in the arena PvP team.
Warrior's filled up.
Yep, I'm here.
This question's to you, buddy.
Well, give me his arena team again. It sounded like he had like 3 different factions together.
Yes, he did. That's why I was. It's Zader with Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, Yoda, and Lando.
Yoda and Lando, get rid of them. You have to. With that team.
Yeah, it just doesn't sync well. I'm trying to see what's there, but
I mean, Emperor Palpatine, you're going to shock and you're going to stun, so you're getting an advantage with that. You're getting the exposes potentially with Darth Sidious and the AoE. You're getting AoE and dots over people's heads with Vader and Coaling Blades. So you've got your offense, but now you got to protect those guys, especially Emperor Palpatine and Sidious. They're not the strongest. So you're either going to have to speed them up with Sith Assassin, or you're going to have to protect them. You could still use like an old school Stormtrooper Han if you want to speed them up if you don't have Sith Assassin, but you've got to get some sort of tank out there and preferably an auto taunt so somebody doesn't triple mollywop your freaking Emperor Palpatine right out the gate.
That's right. Yeah. Triple mollywop for the win.
TIE Fighter Pilot's a good one to go in that team. Rogue Guard as well. Good
TIE Fighter Pilot's excellent.
Royal Guard. Because not everyone has Show Trooper. At least they'll give some protection to your team.
Excellent ideas, yep.
Alright, let's see. I think that's all of the questions. I'm not seeing anymore. They're saying they can't hear us. Well, they said they couldn't hear us.
Alright.
Except for me and Remon, apparently. Let's see. I'm looking. Questions. No, there's no more questions right now. We got through all the questions, gang.
Sweet. Let's close it up.
Awesome.
Okay, so thank you very much for everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me. It's saying in the chat that they can't hear us. Let's just check OBS. But thank you very much for everyone attending. And Ranger, Where can we find you? What are you doing today? What you got going on?
Well, today I thought I'd take a walk along the beach and contemplate the meaning of life and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes all together at one. That being said, you can find us at Reality Skewed Gamers, and you can find us on YouTube. Sorry, I got interrupted. Today we have our stream, which will be running at 7 Eastern time today, because, as I said, me and Grandi will be on the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes podcast. We're really excited about that. We have a ton of new content coming out. I think Finn is about ready. We did the P1 phase video for Jedi's. We're going to do Xylo next. It should be out any day now. People have been really digging that because Finn's so analytical, it's ridiculous. But yeah, check us out there. We got all kinds of content out there. We even starting to do some other games just for fun. We started doing some Diablo. Finn talked me into it, but there's a ton of stuff there on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We're going to be streaming tonight. We'll be streaming tomorrow with the Mage Ducky Ship Spectacular Show, and of course, every Wednesday at 8 Eastern, we do our stream. This last week, we were on Smithie D's channel, so a big shout out to Smithie for doing that and letting us be on his channel. We kind of invaded, but we have Smithie D on that show all the time with lots of people. So yeah, check us out.
Awesome, and you can find their channel by going in the link in the description. You're about to check that out. Cool.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for joining us. And Warrior, where can these lovely viewers find you?
I pop in from time to time on the Facebook, Star Wars Facebook page, but more importantly on my YouTube channel at Warrior from Team Instinct. I put out about 7 to 9 videos a week, so I flood your stream with lots of content. I try to make small videos that people can watch quickly, like 5 or 6 minute videos, and then a few, maybe 2 or 3 slightly longer 12 to 15 minute videos as more of the meat and potatoes for the week. But I do ship battles, arena battles, theory crafting, in-depth reviews, all sorts of stuff. So
awesome. And again, you can find Warrior's channel through the link below, so check that out, subscribe, make sure you're not missing a thing. And we've also got Remon. Is Remon still here?
Yes,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm here. And I wanted to apologize also. Today happens to be a very busy day for me at work. I'm running a trade show as well today, so I just happen to be trying to do both. And I'm sorry if I got cut off a couple of times during the stream. But you can find me on my YouTube channel at Remon Azab, and we're going to be doing weekly streams, like I said earlier in the stream, on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm also going to be doing a weekly Galactic War stream, just solo, just kind of just share my thoughts on the game, as well as putting out videos on character videos and just regular videos like about upcoming content, update videos. I'll be doing a Nihilus 7-star review here pretty soon. So I have some stuff coming out here during the week, but around midweek you should expect another Galactic War live stream, and then on Friday we'll have the Alliance second live stream. So you guys should definitely come check that out. Everybody on the panel here today is, of course, welcome to come join me there if they'd like. On Friday night at 8:30 Eastern. So I'd hope to see you guys there, and we're going to be doing some cool stuff upcoming with the EA Game Changers program, probably in the next month or two. I know you guys with me in the program know how it is sometimes. So we sometimes get access to stuff, sometimes we don't. But we do have some cool stuff that's going to be coming up. And I'm sure Smithie will share that when the time comes, and looking forward to all that stuff too. So thanks again for having me on, and see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining, buddy. And we've got Loki. Where can everybody find you, buddy?
Hey guys, I got a little YouTube channel. It's Sir Loki, SIRLOKI. You can also catch me on Line Chat if you want to theory craft or talk about stuff. And currently working on my heroic Phase 3 team. So put up a video yesterday trying to push that team to over 2 million.
And you know, any suggestions you guys got? You know, let's figure this thing out and get a. You know, I haven't seen a really good Phase 3 team in a while, so I want to get something going and get it going. So thank you again for having me on, and see you next week.
Definitely. Thank you very much, man, for joining again. And we've got then Mike. Where can everybody find you, Mike? And what do you work on? What do you do?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've got my own little YouTube channel, Mike Hunt, where it's more of a vlog than anything. Currently, I'm just in the process of Zetaing Kylo, which will give me 3. I've lost count. It will give me every first order that can be zeted. I'm looking at using them. I've got all my Rogue Ones 7-star, so I'm working on them. They'll be up and coming. Playing around with ships. I'm top 10 in my ships. I've got some very interesting opponents, including one of the 3 from the heroic tank raiding threesome. One of them's in there. Yeah, no, it's interesting.
The free soul, the free man AAT, the free man free soul.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you got Mason in your arena shot, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got Mason the arena shot, which is always fun. He puts out some awesome squads, and it's brilliant to throw mine at him until I can work out the kill order or whatever on there. And just generally, living the dream.
Yeah, man, sounds good. Make sure you do some videos tonight with that team that we mentioned. And just let us know how it goes. I'd like to see your reaction if it works or just fails. You know, it'd be quite funny to
I've
see.
already got a few for you, mate.
Oh, you already done so?
Yeah.
You were playing ships while we were doing the stream. Is that what you're saying?
No. I've been good.
I was playing Galactic War earlier, so it's okay. As you do. Ranger knows all about Smithie playing Galactic War on streams, doesn't he?
Yes, I do know.
Yeah, that's. I think when I save. You know, it's like Wednesdays. I'm like, oh, I can do my Galactic Wars on Reality Skewed Gamers. Save up 2 runs, you know, and just like get them done. Or if I didn't do it, then I'd probably lose them. So you should be thankful and that I'm able to grateful that I'm able to do great videos. You know. Well, not on Galactic War, but just get through it and get my tokens and stuff, or I probably wouldn't have the free time.
And you don't want me to punch you in the face because is this what you're trying to do? You're trying to make me angry, Smithie? Is this what this is about? I didn't say anything about the Jedi Loop, but now you're going to bring up the GW. Why we're doing this stream?
Well, if you were Danny Rand, but I don't know. You have to shave your beard, man.
I am Iron Fist. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one day, Ranger. One day.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, we also have Bella. Is Bella still there? Is she with us?
Still there? Did we lose
She's
Bella?
on mute. She's just on mute.
Oh. She doesn't want to talk to us today.
Well, you mentioned Jedi Luke too much. What do you think was going to happen?
Hey, I didn't.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Yes.
we can't hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, great.
We can't hear you.
Okay, you can't
Stop
hear
it.
You two fools!
Shame on you, Smithie. Shame on you.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
So
Miss
we
Bella,
were
what do you...
saying goodbye, kind of.
Yeah, so what do you got going on?
Yeah. I started a little chip channel on Discord.
Yay!
So, it's kind of a chip clinic. So you can go there and have a look into your lineup and others too. Some others are there, so would be great if some of you want to join.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Do you have a link that we could post in chat, maybe? You got a link for it if you wanted to post in chat?
Yeah, probably. And besides that, I had the mod challenge, but the ship channel is online now, and it's part of the FTP server on Discord. So, yeah, I'll check for the link.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that wraps it up. Are you doing a stream later tonight, Ranger?
Yep. We will be streaming tonight at 7 EST. It won't be as long. It'll probably be an hour and a half, mainly because me and Grant have to go do the podcast tonight. But it'll be the awesome fun that we always have with the Mad Libs, and Ranger wants to open a pack of game. So when Pastor cleaned my clock last week, he got all 13 questions. I was like, bastard. So I think the questions a little harder.
The questions are quite easy, what I remember.
I know that we give those kind of questions to them, but then you and me get like
what order? What order was it that the damage from the lasers from the A-wing? What order do they go in?
Yeah, which of these blasters from the hardest hitting to the least hitting? Rank them 1 to 6. Like what?
I think I actually got that right, didn't I?
You got the first couple, but then we were like,
I know which is the weakest.
This is dumb. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had fun.
Crazy. It was good. I might join you tonight. I think I've got a little bit of Galactic War to do later, so I guess I'll catch you there.
Then just don't come.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us, and that's including the panel and every one of you viewers for joining us on Jedi Academy. Make sure you're here next week, and make sure that you're checking out our channels on a daily basis to check out any new content. Thank you very much for watching, and you've been watching Jedi Academy. May the Force be with you always.